Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. Now, in our previous video, we took care of all of the off-season stuff, and it was a big off-season for us this time. We won the championship in Tier 3 and accepted the invitation to be promoted to Tier 2. So now that's where we are. We took care of all the off-season. We built a couple of HQ buildings. So we've got some new parts development that's going on. We got a lot of things going, but now it's time for our first race. And you can see here, we dug ourselves a bit of a hole from the beginning. We are in the hole 972,000 per race without any bonuses. And I've chosen 10th or above because I really have no idea where this is going to go. So it would be nice to get more money, but even with that bonus, we're going to be losing money. So we're going to quickly get ourselves into the red, which is going to hurt us with the chairman's happiness. So we're going to see how this goes. We're really putting the pressure on here because, hey, why not? Let's have fun with this thing. We've got our parts fitted, and now we're ready for a brand new track, brand new everything in Singapore. Welcome back. We've just finished up our practice and qualifying sessions. So let's take a look at what we're going to go into the race with as far as knowledge bonuses. Both cars plus 10% on the race trim, and then even though I have no plans to use it, we have a bonus here for super soft tires simply because he doesn't have any other bonuses that would apply. And then I'm choosing to go on Rodriguez. I'm choosing to go with a little less tire wear on the soft tires. Now I spent my practice session basically trying to figure out what the cars could do, of course trying to get the best setup possible, and we did okay there. Let's quickly take a look at the setup. As I mentioned, it did turn out pretty good. We're at 93% there. And during qualifying, I didn't make any changes simply because I was trying to see qualifying was a little bit different than I was expecting. And so I didn't make any changes there. 93% is pretty good. We're going to be using the soft tires for the race. Now, this is a 20-lap race. And what I basically figured out is I did a little bit of reconnaissance work for future races, essentially. I know because of the condition of our car, our reliability is horrible. So I know that I can't afford to push the car. So, as much as I would like to split up the strategy here, I don't think I can afford to. Our reliability simply is too low. So I'm going to try to do a one-stop race and essentially divide it in half. Maybe a lap or two more here and there for the first stint. We'll see. But I'm hoping basically that the car will come out okay. So here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, let's go ahead and use a little bit more fuel here. Again, I don't want him to come in at the same, on the same lap. So I'm going to go ahead and give him one additional lap of fuel. And again, we'll see how this goes. I tell you what, I'm actually going to reverse that. I'm going to have him come in after Rodriguez. So we're going to go 11 laps here, and I'll do 12 laps for Rodriguez, and we're trying to get essentially 10 and 11 laps out of each of them. Okay, so we go ahead and confirm that. We'll come into Rodriguez, set up again 93%. Okay, and fuel options, of course, he's at by default. It wants you to go the max distance. We're going to go ahead with 12 here, which would be, and I figure I'm going to get about 10 or 11 laps out of either one of these, hopefully 12 for one of them for Rodriguez, and we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and confirm that. The biggest thing is going to be our strategy. I am going to have each of them basically run neutral at all times. We're going to go ahead and have one of them run high on engine mode. In fact, let's go ahead and start out with both of them that way. And the reason I'm doing this is because the one part of the car that I do feel comfortable with is the engine. It's at 80% reliability, so I think we're okay there, but I really don't want to push as far as driving style at all. Now, we'll adjust this based on tire heat and things like that, but as the race goes on. But this is sort of how I want to get started, and we'll see how it goes. Now, we're starting, as we'll see in a moment, we're starting 13th and 17th, so not the worst starting positions ever based on our qualifying. But again, the biggest thing that we're going to have going for us here hopefully is we're going to take care of our car. So I'm not terribly worried about where we are on the grid right now. The biggest things I want to learn here, of course, other than staying out of trouble right now, is I want to learn about when the other cars, sort of how they play the strategy. And no doubt they're going to be much faster than us, but how do they play the strategy of when do they pit and that kind of thing. Looks like you can see most of the front runners are chosen the super soft. So they're going to run hard at the beginning of the race. We'll see how many laps they last. And of course, we'll see the same thing on them is how does the condition of their car work? All right, we're starting to see there's a couple of cars must have had an accident there because I can't imagine they needed to come in quite that early. So there must have been some damage there. We're now up to 15th and 17th. Looks like tire heat is doing pretty good. We're middle of the road, which is exactly where I would like it. We're starting to see that bonus take effect here as we finish up our third lap for both cars on the tire wear. So we're at 72 and 78. So a little bit better tire wear for Rodriguez. And we'll see how that works going forward. So our position is not terribly bad. Speed, let's take a look at the standings. Let's see, we're at a minute 29. So yeah, we're about 4 to 5 seconds off the fastest time. But again, we're on different tires as well. Okay, tires starting to heat up a little bit here for Rodriguez. Still not bad. The biggest thing is, can we make the car last to at least halfway on both so that we can get some repairs done? Unfortunately, I don't see any way around doing repairs, even though we are not pushing the car at all. Let's see, I'm actually going to back him down a little bit because the tires are starting to heat up. Let's back both of them down and conserve. We don't want the tires to get too hot. Try to keep them around middle of the road. Okay, so now we have, oh wow, the virtual safety car. Now that's one thing I did want to point out is that in this particular series, they don't use a physical safety car, which means you don't get the cars all bunched up whenever a caution comes out. There's only a virtual safety car, which here it looks like didn't last long. So we'll see how that works out. And again, that's something else we'll have to pay attention to. Okay, and it looks like we're right back at it. So virtual safety car has been lifted. The biggest difference with the virtual safety car is if you have a lead or any sort of a gap on the guy behind you, it could help you maintain that gap rather than everybody being bunched back up. All right, so far so good. Looks like, 46% tire wear versus 57. That's good because we do plan on Rodriguez going a little bit farther. Okay, so far so good. We got 13 laps remaining. And if we can make it, again, to at least lap 10 for Sergio and at least lap 11 for Rodriguez, then we'll be in good shape. Now, what you see at the forefront of the field right now are all the guys on the soft tires, not the super softs. And that is simply because the guys on the super softs needed to pit a little bit earlier. And it looks like those guys have done so. And okay, so we've got an issue there with brakes. Unfortunately, we're going to try to ignore this for now, and hopefully he can hang on just a few more laps. Looks like the guys in front of us are having some parts issues just like we are, but we're taking care of the car as good as we can. And I need it to last a couple of more laps if at all possible. All right, so now we're in 6th place and 11th place. Okay, so now we are going to set up our first pit stop, and it looks like we're going to need to because our parts are not doing great. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our first pit stop, which is going to be for Sergio, and we're hoping that Rodriguez can make it. Okay, so he's going to have just enough fuel. So let's go ahead and put in a little bit extra fuel just in case we're able to push a little bit at the end of the race. All right, so we're going to need to fix a whole bunch of parts here. I'm going to go ahead and fix this as, let's see, 40%. Actually, that one's not too bad because it didn't start off much higher than that. So I think we can make it there. Again, as long as we don't push too hard, that'll be the key. Okay, we're going to go with fast pit stop because why not? Okay, Now we're going to focus on Rodriguez for now. Again, we're hoping his parts will last a couple more laps. And if they can, that will be awesome. Okay, so here just shortly, we're going to see Sergio come into the pits. All right, and he's in. So now we're going to set up our pit stop for Rodriguez. We're going to put on a fresh set of tires, fuel. We're going to give him a little bit less fuel so that we can continue to push the engine. Because, again, the engine is perfectly fine. So now, what do we want to fix? Well, we're going to need to fix 3-part. Man, I'm going to need to fix. Oh, really don't want to do this. Okay, we're going to, let's see, 38 to 46. Yeah, we don't want to fix that if we can get by with it. Let's take a chance and see if we can get by with that. It's going to put us at the back of the pack. All right, so let's see how things go. Again, we got... All right, Sergio, looks like everything was good there. Of course, he's going to come out at the back of the pack. And now we're closing in on our pit stop for Rodriguez. Again, we're going to have to see as we get toward the end of the race how things go for the condition of the parts for all of the cars. You know, particularly the guys that pushed hard at the beginning of the race. We'll have to see how that goes. And we'll see who's been repairing their car and who's taking chances. We're taking a little bit of a chance here with Rodriguez. All right, let's switch over to Sergio. And again, we are not pushing the car at all. Again, at this point, we're just trying to make it. All right, looks like Rodriguez has caught and passed Sergio. We're going as hard as we can on the engine. Remember, we're using the high fuel consumption. But you see, we've got some parts issues right there ahead of us. We'll keep an eye on our condition here. You can see the parts are just wearing out extremely quickly here. And so we're just hoping to make it to the end. Hopefully we can make it to the end and pick up a few spots along the way as well. So we're at 13th and 14th, which, quite frankly, is not bad. Not bad at all, and better than I was expecting. You know, we're here in a new tier, higher than we were before. I'm trying to see what we've got. Looks like our cars are trading positions here. So Rafael has now fallen back. We'll switch back over to Sergio since he's the highest running car. Now, they're on equal status right now. I know Sergio previously was on the car number 1 status, the lead car. He is not anymore. When I renewed his contract, I renewed it at equal status driver. So Rodriguez is falling back. Looks like we've got parts issues all over the place for some of the cars around us. We'll hope that that continues. We are now in 9th and 11th. And again, we're not pushing anything except for the engine right now. And the engine is doing perfectly fine. It'll be the other parts that we'll have to see. Let's take a look at our other car. Wow, we're getting right down there. Again, we didn't do anything with the suspension, hoping that it will hold out. And we'll see if it indeed does. But so far, I am very happy. I don't like seeing comments like that. But he may indeed be right. Yeah, look, we've got here a front wing. We've got, everything is looking kind of ragged. Let's go ahead and just back everything down, really. So we only need to make it a couple more laps here. So we've got 2 laps remaining. If we can just hang in there. We are running 9th and 11th. Hopefully we can stick in with a top 10. That will give us our bonus. We're definitely going to lose money this race and go into the red overall. But hopefully we can at least finish in the top 10. Okay, yes, I know. Oh, we got mechanical issues everywhere on the grid, it looks like. So let's hang in there. Just a couple more. It looks like one more lap for us. The leader is on the final lap. I'm actually not sure if conserving the fuel, if that conserves anything of the other parts or not. Okay, it looks like Rodriguez has now moved ahead. And again, the big thing is going to be, can we make it? Can we make it? We're coming to the end. And it looks like we made it. Okay. Woo. Excellent job there. We come home in 9th and 10th. So Sergio at the very end pulls ahead and gets the top finishing position. So overall, I am very pleased. The biggest thing is our parts made it to the end. So we were able to finish with both cars. So we'll get, I'm actually not sure how the points go and how far, if everybody gets finishing points or not. So far, so good. No risk of any rules infractions for us anyway. A couple of the other cars may have gotten some penalties, and it looks like they did. So 9th and 10th, not bad. We'll take it. We did get the $200,000 bonus, although it will only be a small sum in relation. Let's see. Okay, no points there. Of course, it does give us based on finishing position, but looks like points end at about 7th place. Okay, that'll be good to know for the future. And so, of course, in the team championship, we have no points. And let's go ahead and move through these last few screens and see how much money we ended up losing. Okay, the good thing is driver morale is perfect. That is awesome. All right, we'll have to see. Let's see some nice increases there. So we're coming along good. We finished 8th, just outside of what we expected. So we lose some chairman happiness. Marketability basically stays the same. Not much of a change there. And okay, so we lost 772,000. So that looks like that's going to be the case for a few races here. We'll see what happens when we get to some more sponsor renewals. Hopefully we'll get more money being in an upper tier. All right, so overall, I think that went good. Of course, we didn't get any points, but we finished just outside of the points paying positions in 9th and 10th, so middle of the way on the grid. I'm pretty thrilled about that for our first race in our new tier, in the new championship. So thank you very much for joining me in our Let's Play series, and stay tuned for more Motorsport Manager.